people will see you guys on stage or see people that are doing these massive numbers and they're like, I'm doing 5 deals a year. Can you remember back then what was like that switch that kind of took you from a brand new agent to that producing agent, or maybe someone on your team recently who was, you know, brand new or something? Because like that's really the hard thing, is like the reason why we have a 87% fail rate after 3 years. It's just so hard to get started. You know, like, do you remember back then, or do you have an agent, like something that kind of made that click in your mind to start getting you in that, you know,
well, I remember really clearly. I was at a conference in Coronado and Greg Newman was there. Greg Newman's a legend in San Diego. He was there. He was speaking at a breakout session. And normally in San Diego, you know, people, hey, I sold 7 homes. I sold 8 homes. What are you going to get? You're going to get congratulations. Yeah. You're amazing. Well, Greg was the first time I'm in this breakout session. I didn't know him at the time, but apparently he's a very blunt person. Because I heard, you know, I hear him say, I was selling 5, 6 homes a year. And he gets on the stage there in this breakout and he says something to the effect of, listen, if you're not selling 24 homes a year minimum, which by the way means 2 homes a month, which by the way means you're losing, literally failing 28 days a month, winning twice. Yeah. If you're not doing at least that, then what the hell are you doing? And you should probably think about a different industry. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, I didn't even know 24 homes a year was a thing. I didn't know that. Everyone kept congratulating me for my 6. So in that moment, that led to, oh my gosh, well, that led to a flooding of all kinds of things. So from emotions to pursuit of more information to the rooms I ended up finding myself in, you know, just the total evolution of my thinking. Yeah.
Did you just like dive into coaching after that point then? Or did you like switch brokerages?
At that point, it wasn't directly into that. That would have been wise. At that point, what it was it's funny just how things work out. It's not like in that moment I said, okay, I am now a different person, right? But I started just thinking different things. And whether it's that I manifested it or who knows what it was, I got invited very shortly thereafter to a mastermind I didn't belong to at all. I did not belong in the room in Louisville. I couldn't really afford to go. And so it's going to be one of those decisions like, do I go and like maybe
put on
make
a credit
rent,
card at 22%
or do I not make rent, or you know, all those. But I went. And I ended up in the room with Gary Ashton, who's currently the #1 RE/MAX realtor in the world. I ended up in the room with Justin Haver, #1 RE/MAX in Canada. Mark Z, who is in our Fast Forward Movement group. He's the #1 or #2 or whatever it is team in the whole state of Michigan. 1,000+ transactions.
Oh, yeah, he's the guy that does the investing, right? Yeah.
This is the room I end up in. Yeah. So obviously that opened up even more flooding and more evolution of the way I was wired.
Was it overwhelming at first with all that like information?
It was really exciting. I don't remember overwhelmed, to be honest with you. I remember, and I'm sure there was, but I remember being excited. Yeah. I remember hope. I remember, you just talk about getting the wheels spinning, right? Yeah. It was very stimulating. It was great.
Kyle?
Yeah, I was doing commercial real estate, mostly apartment buildings with my dad. We sold a lot of apartment buildings to people who would gut them and then turn them into condos and sell them off individually. And that was going really, really well. But then that started to dry up. The city of San Diego basically said no more. If you want to convert these, you need like 32 parking spaces for a 1-bedroom apartment. They basically said like, you're not doing this anymore. Which is funny because now California's trying to do the same thing with hotel rooms and do apartments for housing. But yeah, now it's the opposite. Now it's the opposite. Now they're trying to do it with everything. You can build 32 units for 1 parking space now, legitimately. So I started to see that when they shut that down, nobody was buying apartment buildings anymore because you couldn't convert them. The numbers didn't make sense. And then my investors started saying like, well, if I can't buy these apartments, what if I go buy this short sale listing that's $100,000 for a house, or this REO listing that's $100,000 for a house? I was like, shit, okay. And then I started realizing, I was like, wow, this girl's got 200 of these. This guy's got 400 of those. This girl's got 800. I was like, that's crazy. Like those are big, big numbers. And so I saw there was opportunity on the residential side. So I shifted over to residential. And the first thing I did is I saw like, okay, these people are doing massive numbers in short sales. Like that's where the opportunity is right now. So the first thing I did is I went to an event on people who taught how to do short sales. And I went to their event and I paid for their service. It's called Short Sale Genius at the time. I paid for their service to learn exactly how to do it. And my first year, I literally sold 24 houses. So I never had a year with like 5. It never happened, because I just knew if you want something, like, go and find whoever's the best at it and either get in the room with them or pay them whatever they want, and they're going to teach you exactly how to do it. So just being around people at a higher level, whether it's getting into a high level mastermind or finding a coach who's an expert at what you want to do, like, learn from people.
Yeah.
And if you have to pay them money to be in the room, or pay them money for their system or their coaching program, like, pay it.
Yeah.
And learn it. I mean, I went 24, 42, 82. Those were like my first 3 years, and then 242 in my 4th year.
Show off.
But like, that's the thing. Like, I just knew this is what I want to do. Let me find who's best at it, and let me learn from them, and I'll get going a whole lot faster. I just need to be around people that are ahead of where I want to go and learn from them.
Yeah.
And then I don't make all the same mistakes, because to get to the level they were at, they made a ton of mistakes to get there.
Yeah.
And now I could, which is where the whole fast forward thing comes from, is like, let me learn from people who've done what I want to do. And now I can learn what worked for them, but more importantly, I can learn what didn't work for them. So I don't have to make the same mistakes that they made. I can get where I want to go a lot faster than
Yeah, it's so funny.